What's going on, webheads, and welcome back to another video on the Spider Pops channel. We are here again with our friendly neighborhood Spider Gwen, and we actually got an invitation to actually do a little tour of this Funko Pop shop that is actually down in Denver, actually by Casa Bonita. So that is a pretty well-known landmark here in the Denver area. So yeah, we are just going to get inside and see what they actually have in the store, and it should be a pretty fun video, so hopefully you guys stick around till the end. Alright, well, we're inside the store. This is a pretty epic store right here. They actually have a whole lot of different Funko Pops, it would seem. And so we're just going to have to take a look around here and see what they actually have, because there's a lot of really cool stuff here.
Our grails are going to be in here. Mid-range vaulted stuff in here and up here. That case back there is all autographs. I know, actually, the back of the store is all autographs, anything from Stan Lee to more Stan Lee to Anthony Mackie, Mike Tyson. We got a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. Do you have any specific Spider-Man stuff?
I've got a few pieces. I mean, it's not Spider-Man, but we do have Ryan Reynolds signed Deadpool stuff. Lexi Robb, Morgan Stark came in and signed a bunch of stuff for us last weekend, so she was here doing a signing. And then got the movie lithograph signed by Stan and numbered to 1964. Anthony Mackie shield, Stan Lee signed Thor. Marvel Masterpiece signed by Joe Jusko. But not a whole hard. Spider-Man stuff is just hard to keep in stock. I got the Hobgoblin illustrated piece with Spidey at the spider senses going off.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Cool. The Toxin.
They got a lot of cool stuff.
Have
that. Which one?
Is that the one you want?
That is the one I want. $25. There's also another one here that I don't have that never showed up again. Does this one have a price tag on it?
I think he's like 20. 42 right now. I do $30.
Alright.
What's that?
Yes, on there.
Did you want this one?
Yeah, I think I was probably gonna get that one.
Alright, I'll put this up for you. Alright. I did that piece for Lexi when she came last weekend, so I drew that one.
She was in here last weekend?
Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
That's awesome.
Signing. So I got a bunch of these that she signed for me, and then a bunch of her pops available that are signed as well.
That's awesome.
It was Spider-Gwen one.
What?
Spider-Gwen one.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that one's signed by Stan Lee and Scotty Young.
That's sick. How do you guys get all your Funko Pops?
We buy collections. We also do conventions all over the country, so we buy collections from all over. We get con exclusives when they hit. So,
Are you a hardcore collector yourself?
I am, but my collection's mostly for my retirement.
Yeah. Yeah, my collection got pretty extensive over the course of like the pandemic.
When I started working, my first boss was the old man. I did color work for Stan.
Oh, that is awesome.
So I did a painting of him as Spider-Man. I told him I'd trade him for an autograph, so he's signed right here.
Oh my god, that is the coolest tattoo ever.
So all the Stan signed stuff is all stuff that I had him sign personally. Every time he'd walk by my desk after that, he'd be like, anything you want me to sign? I'd be like, yeah. So I've got like a pencil case signed by him, a stapler, a 3-hole punch, and then I got wise and started bringing in like mystery box stuff and posters for him to sign.
That's
So,
awesome.
been doing it for a long time.
So yeah, do you ever get to like actually get to know him?
Oh yeah. Stan was amazing. Orange Fanta was his favorite thing. If you brought him an Orange Fanta, he'd be your best friend for life. So when he was getting older, he'd been with his wife for 70 plus years, and she was trying to get him to stop drinking the Fanta. So anytime he'd come by my desk, I had a little refrigerator under my desk with the little Fanta cans, and when he'd sign something, I'd give him a Fanta, and he'd sneak over and drink it in my desk so she wouldn't catch him. But
That's awesome.
she always knew anyway. She was awesome.
That's
So
super
they were
cool.
great together. They were super cool. So
So did like because I always thought that like his favorite character was Spider-Man. Like did he like ever like talk about like when the movies were coming out and stuff?
yeah, he was glad that Spider-Man kind of went first. He was also a big Hulk fan. He always talked about the biggest mistake and the reason for the Gray Hulk in the first issue was because he had several artists working on it, and they all colored Hulk a different color, a different shade of green. So he got upset and he's like, fine, we're just gonna do gray for the whole, so that's why the whole first issue of Hulk is gray. And then they started standardizing the color palette, making them all use the same coloring, so that way he was consistent throughout the book. But yeah, Hulk was one of his favorites too, but I think Spider-Man always had a special place in his heart.
I think that's awesome. I was kind of bummed out seeing like No Way Home for like the fact that like he didn't get to see that.
Yeah, he was always interested in the multiverse and different universes and kind of different ways of approaching the same story. So
Did he ever get to like pitch in like the movies like to like the directors ever like actually come to him and
he always gave his input. They didn't always listen, but he always told them what direction he was expecting things to go in and wanted things to go in. So for the most part, they followed his wishes. Nobody really wanted to upset Stan.
Yeah. I love like the story with the Japanese Spider-Man, him like standing up and like nobody like really like liked it, but then Stan Lee gets up and starts clapping.
Yeah. Well, it's the same, like if you can find, I don't know if you remember Double Dragon, but it was a video game from the 80s, and it was just like button smash, punch 'em up game. But there were two brothers in it, Billy Lee and Tommy Lee. Billy Lee and Bobby Lee, either one. But Marvel did a comic book series for the video game, and in the comic book series it kind of went into their backstory, how they learned all their martial arts. And they learned it from their drunk uncle who lived upstairs, and they go up, and it goes upstairs, and it's Stan Lee, because it's Billy Lee, Tommy Lee, and then their uncle Stan Lee, and he's this drunken martial arts master that taught them all of their skills. So he had a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun stuff that he included in a lot of his projects. So
That's great. And like when he was older, like he just mostly did like they just go around like everywhere doing signings.
yeah, I mean, towards the end, it was mostly that's what he was doing, was conventions and signings and meeting as many people as he could. And I mean, even after a day at New York Comic Con or Kamikaze where he had signed 10,000 autographs, at the end of the day, he was still happy to see everybody and my favorite line of his is everybody be like, "You're our favorite, we love you, Stan, you're the greatest." And he'd be like, "Well, you clearly have great taste." You know? So he was always a lot of fun.
Did he ever talk about like DC and stuff?
Yeah, we did a giveaway at New York Comic Con for a kid. We did like a drawing and they got to have lunch with Stan Lee. So they had like a little pizza lunch in one of the panel rooms at New York Comic Con. I went in to kind of check things out, and the kid asked him, "What's the biggest difference between Marvel and DC?" And Stan said, "Well, DC was always something that was bigger than this world. Everything, you couldn't really explain everything. Like, you know, this person was an alien, this person was a magician, this person was this person was that." And it was all fake cities, Center City, Gotham City. He said with Marvel, he wanted everything based in reality, grounded in reality. So all the cities are real. The reason behind everything is real. There was mutants because of the radiation. There was Iron Man because of the explosion. I mean, everything has a reason behind it and is a little bit more thought out and can be something that could actually happen versus, you know, aliens and magic rings and stuff like that in the DC.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was always his biggest thing, is you want, you know, bitten by a radioactive spider. Like, there's a reason behind everybody's powers.
That had to be like the coolest experience ever, just like working with Stan Lee.
He was cool. I mean, he didn't get to spend as much time with him as I had wanted to, but I mean, the time that I did get to spend with him was pretty awesome.
That's sweet. Was his wife ever like actually like there with him?
Yeah, she was always around. I mean, she was there a lot. I mean, he'd come into the office and she went, but most of the conventions, she was either there or at the hotel. They were inseparable. They'd been together for so long. It was just...
I thought it was just like the cutest thing, like hearing it, because like there's like documentaries of him talking about how like most of the comics he came up with was so he could like afford to like keep paying for like her like spending habits and stuff.
Yeah, and every day they danced, every day, even at 70 or even at 93, when they've been married for 70 years, they still danced every day, so they were cute.
That's awesome.
Should I get this just to piss off your mom?
It's up to you if you actually like it.
I don't, but I'm just saying it's kind of funny because she hates Pocahontas and I found one.
You could get a signed Pocahontas and it'd be even better.
There's
Yeah.
a signed Pocahontas in there? Oh, there is.
That's not right.
The only signed ones I have are from like Gabriel Iglesias.
Had a few of those. I got 8 of the new one coming in.
Yeah, now he just does like a whole bunch of signed stuff that he just releases.
How much are the Squishmallows?
They're all on clearance. If you see something you like, I'll hook it up. My business partner's daughter does all the Squishmallows. That's her right there, Parker. So she bought them all. She bought a lot of collections, and we had her do some conventions with us, and she did really good. She was selling like crazy, and now she's back in school, and she doesn't have as much time to do it all, and so she's just like, sell them, get rid of them. So, see anything you like, we'll get it.
Can we have the Pillsbury Doughboys?
Huh?
They got the Pillsbury Doughboys.
Yeah. Because all the Pokemon they have, they have minus this one.
You don't like the My Hero Macadamia nut?
No!
Okay. How often do people come in here and do signings?
We've had a couple in so far since December, so we try to do one every month or two.
And how do they like reach out to you, or do you reach out to them?
I'd go find like I met Lexi in Albuquerque, and I got a few different celebrities that I've known forever that I could get in anytime.
20 minutes later.
Yes.
Alrighty, we have made it out of PopCULTure Empire. What an amazing store that was. A bunch of really awesome Funko Pops and other really cool signatures and pop culture items as well. There was a shield in there that was like signed by Anthony Mackie. It was pretty incredible. So definitely if you guys are in the area, it's up by Casa Bonita, that you guys should definitely come check it out. So yeah, we ended up coming out with a lot of really awesome stuff. Spider-Gwen over here actually has a couple Squishmallows. I'm sure we'll go over those a little bit more once we get back to the Pop office, as well as all the stuff that we actually picked up for the Spider Pops collection. So should be really fun. We're just going to get back to the Pop office now, and we'll see you guys when we get there.
Bye. Sorry.
3 hours later.
Alright, and we are back from PopCULTure Empire. That was a really epic store. I'm super stoked for that experience, and we were actually told about the store by one of our awesome subscribers that has been a pretty webtastic fan of the Spider Pops channel for quite some time now. We didn't actually get to see him in there today because he had to go home a little early, but we are definitely going to have to go back there to continuously check up on all of the cool stuff that they have. We did actually get to meet the owner of the store, and he was a really awesome guy. I'm actually super stoked we got to have a stellar conversation with him. We ended up getting some pretty good clips out of that, and I am really stoked for that experience because he actually used to do stuff with Stan Lee, so we had a whole bunch of really awesome Stan Lee stories, so I was really stoked about being able to hear all of those. I thought that was really exciting, so I hope you guys enjoyed those Stan Lee and Spider-Man questions as well. But we did end up actually picking up a few things from the store. We got a very good deal on everything that we got, so really stoked we actually were able to go in there for this video. Spider-Gwen was actually not really feeling well, so she's actually in the background directing right now because she wasn't feeling very good today, so she should be swinging on back into the videos very soon. So make sure you guys have bell notifications turned on and subscribe to the Spider Pops channel so you don't miss out on any of that. Miss Spider Pops and I actually got some really cool things from the store. I'll actually start off by showing you the 2 Spider-Man Pops I actually was able to pick up for the Spider Pops collection. Starting off with one of the newer ones that is actually a relatively new pop, but I actually was not able to get one from any of my local Walmarts. They actually dropped at one of the Walmarts that was close to me, and then by the time I was actually able to get there, they were already gone. But we actually now have the Zombie Hunter Walmart exclusive metallic Spider-Man, and he is really cool looking. I am super stoked to actually have that one. I believe we now have all of the Spider-Man Pops from the What If Funko Pop line. I believe there was actually just a common version of this, then the Hot Topic exclusive without his mask, and now we have the Walmart exclusive metallic Spider-Man. So that is a really awesome pop. I thought What If was a pretty phenomenal series. Right now, Miss Spider Pops and I are currently watching Moon Knight, and that has been a really awesome series as well. So make sure you guys check that one out if you haven't already. It is currently streaming on Disney Plus.
Like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name's Stephen with a V.
But after the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, we actually were wandering around the store a bit, and I was actually able to find this one. And we got this one for a pretty good deal as well. And here is the Walmart exclusive Venomized Spider-Man. And this was another one that I don't believe I ever saw drop in any of my Walmarts when it came out. I believe like a year ago now at this point. But he is really cool, and now we have, I believe, all of the Venomized Spider-Mans in the collection because we do have this one. And then we also have the Venomized Miles Morales, and those are just really awesome pops, and I'm super stoked we actually have this guy. And he's going to look really awesome next to his matching mystery mini, which I believe is right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah, he should be right there. Yeah, he is just a really cool looking pop, and super stoked we have this one to add to the collection as well. So we will just set that aside, and let's go over the couple pops that Miss Spider Pops got. Starting off, we actually have this one right here. She was super stoked to find this in the store. This is actually the Alice in Wonderland Target exclusive, and I believe it's part of the Disneyland 65th anniversary line, and it is a really cool pop. Miss Spider Pops is a very big fan of Alice in Wonderland and all of the cute pops from that. We are currently on the lookout for a 10-inch Cheshire Cat because she missed out on that one, and so hopefully we can find that one soon, because that would be a really awesome one to add to Miss Spider Pops' collection. But as of today, we do have this brand new Alice in Wonderland's 65th anniversary Target exclusive, so that is pretty neat. And then after that, this other one she got is actually going to be Mr. Mittens in the Soul World from the movie Soul. That was a pretty sad movie. I believe I've only watched it once so far, but it was a pretty good story and a very sad movie as well. I believe Pixar is just prone to making very sad movies. If you don't cry during every single Pixar movie, something's wrong with you. But yeah, we'll move on from there. Miss Spider Pops actually got a few Squishmallows as well, and we got a pretty good deal on those ones. There are too many of those ones to show right now. She has a very full closet of Squishmallows at the moment, but we got some pretty awesome ones. I believe we got a couple Bigfoot, so those are really awesome. But yeah, super stoked we were actually able to check out PopCULTure Empire today. If you guys are ever in the Denver area, if you guys are ever up in the Denver area, I highly suggest you go check them out. They're a really awesome store, and they have so many ridiculously cool Funko Pops and other Marvel signatures and other wicked cool memorabilia. I believe you guys saw in one of the clips they actually had a signed Captain America shield. It was actually the Marvel Legends shield that I actually have right there, but they actually have a version of it that they got signed by Anthony Mackie, who, as you guys know, was previously referred to as the Falcon, but is now the new Captain America. So that is really awesome. They got a whole bunch of really awesome stuff there. I'm really stoked we were actually able to go check them out. So if you guys are in the Denver area, be sure to swing on by and let them know Spider Pops sent you. But with all that being said, I believe that is going to do it for this video on the Spider Pops channel. Had such a blast making it for all of you guys, but other than that, that is going to do it. So make sure you guys are staying safe out there, staying frosty, and having fun, of course. Have an amazing rest of your day, webheads. Bye-bye. Hopefully she... I can't speak.
He's just standing there, menacingly.